I believe California is in desperate need of an honest, ethical, moral governor with integrity whose only interest is to serve all of California.
After much speculation, that was Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco on Monday, formally declaring his candidacy for California governor in 2026.
And fresh off that campaign announcement, Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco joins us live with more. Sheriff, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time. And I guess let's start with the basic question. We heard a little bit in that sound bite. Why are you running for governor?
Well, it was a tough decision to make to actually do it, but the why is easy. California is failing. California is failing every aspect of our state. They're failing our kids. We're failing our teachers, we're failing our parents, we're failing our business owners, we're failing law enforcement, we're failing our farmers. Everything about California, the state, the government is the worst at. I think the only thing that they're very good at is wasting money. The California dream is no longer available, it's no longer attainable, and we are seeing people flee this state like no other, and it's sad to me. My kids have to leave, my friends are leaving, my friends' kids are leaving. And it's sad that the greatest state in the country has in some places and a lot of places become a laughingstock.
Sheriff, a centerpiece of your campaign launch was the high cost of living and how Californians want leaders who, quote, do something about it. If elected, what would you do to lower prices, especially in a state where gas and eggs and other commodities are so much more expensive than in other parts of the country?
Yeah, it's very easy to see why they're more expensive than every place in the rest of the country. It's taxes and regulation, over-regulation, and those have to be removed. We have to remove the regulations that force farmers out of business because of costs. We have to remove the regulations that force our gas to be more than anywhere in the country. We have to remove the regulations that could allow us to be we could provide fuel and energy for the rest of the country. But we have regulations that prevent that. Our tax is the highest in the country. We have the least to show for it. And it simply is just a plain different direction and one that involves common sense and reason into solving our problems and our issues.
Let's talk a little bit about crime and immigration. As sheriff, you've taken a hard-line stance on crime. You're a big proponent of Prop 36, which passed last fall, that, of course, increasing penalties for certain drug and theft crimes. But what about crimes at the border? Would you maintain California's sanctuary laws, and would you cooperate with ICE as the Trump administration ramps up deportations?
Yes, if you truly sit down with a reasonable person and talk about SB 54, it has done nothing but harm our state. We've been lied to about it. We've been lied to about the reasons why we have it. And it truly harms our immigrant community because they are the ones most victimized by the criminals that prey on them. And then they're afraid to call us because they've demonized law enforcement, our government officials have, and our politicians, so they don't report the crime, and the victimization happens over and over and over again. If we do arrest a suspect, we have to let them go back into the community, and it continues that cycle of them believing we're not going to help them and us not being able to help them in some circumstances. The border, having an open border, there is no one with any type of common sense or reason would say that a border is good. You can't get into Mexico, but somehow you can get into the United States. It's a crazy situation that we've been lied to. We've been misled. They've preyed on our emotions because we're good people, but common sense and reason has to prevail. And SB 54 will be completely revamped, if not repealed, especially when it comes to jails and prisons and helping ICE get these criminals out of our country.
Southern California, as you know, just endured some of the most devastating wildfires in our history. Had you been in office in Sacramento, what would you have done differently from Governor Newsom? And what is your plan to see this rebuilding process through if you're to be elected?
Well, on day one, we will remove the regulations and the restrictions that we place on firefighters and the fire industry that would prevent these things from happening. You can never prevent fires, but you can mitigate their intensity and their damage and their size. And we have for years not allowed the fire department to do that. Other states do it, and they do it very, very well, but California is prevented. So had I been the governor years before, we would have eliminated these back when the insurance companies were telling us that this was going to happen and that they were going to leave and drop customers because of the fire dangers. Our fire departments have told our lawmakers and our governor that this was going to happen, but we cow down. Sacramento cows to special interests and lobbyists, and the rest of California pays for it. California wants a governor that has the leadership ability to make sure that we care about Californians and not special interests.
Let's talk about Sacramento. In your announcement, you also called out the Sacramento echo chamber. So if elected, you would still have to deal with that echo chamber, that Democratic supermajority. How do you get your agenda passed?
Yeah, I would hope that common sense would prevail and we would just get to a point where, okay, we're actually going to care about everyone else. We're going to care about the voters that we represent. But what I have found over the last 6 years is there is a very, very dark cave where all of these laws are passed and where all of these things are done. The media doesn't report it. The people that are trying to get it out it's not covered. Our voters are not told what's happening there. And I am going to bring a very, very, very bright light into that cave. And everyone's going to know what happens in Sacramento, the waste, the abuse, the lack of concern for the rest of California as it relates to their personal interests instead of the interests of constituents. And we will get government functioning how government was intended.
Speaking of an uphill battle, a Republican has not won statewide office since 2006. How do you buck that trend, especially with the potential entrance of former Vice President Kamala Harris into the race?
Well, I think the reality of California politics and maybe even national politics is people are starving for someone that they can trust and someone that they can believe. And we don't elect those type of people. I think that what I offer from law enforcement, 32 years of integrity, honesty, transparency, that's what we offer. That's our job. And I have that to offer Sacramento, and that's something that no one else there comes to the table with. I welcome the chance of running against former Vice President Kamala Harris. She's already proven that she could not lead this state. And especially in terms of public safety, which that's the major concern of the state, I would love to go head to head with her.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate you making the time for us. Sheriff Chad Bianco, good luck with everything, and hope to see you back here on the KTLA 5 News at 7 sometime soon. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll see you on the trail, Sheriff. Thank you. Still